Doug and PA back on another video. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on the way in. I'd really appreciate it. It shows you support me and the content on this channel. I've been away for a little bit because I do have a day job and it was taking up a lot of my time, but I am coming back to you with this one. It's called More Women Are Paying Alimony and Child Support. This is a news story where a male divorce attorney is talking to two female anchors about how as there are more women as heads of household, when they get divorced, they're going to have to pay their husband because he was staying behind taking care of the kids. Imagine that. Now, watch the interaction between this male attorney and these female news anchors, because the news anchors act so shocked, like, "Oh my God, I can't believe women are having to pay alimony and child support." Let's get into this story.
Women are increasingly becoming the primary breadwinner in the household, and calls to close the gap, close that gender pay gap, grow stronger. Those numbers are expected to increase. But with that comes an increasingly different side effect. And let's
A different side effect. Now, that already tells you that they're framing this as a bad thing. Because name a good side effect of something. Exactly. Ladies, this is what you wanted, and this is what comes along with it.
talk more about the divorce and alimony.
Yeah, and here to discuss is family law attorney Christopher Melcher of Walzer and Melcher. Thanks so much for coming back.
Thanks.
Always love having you here. Well, okay, so women pay more for child support and alimony. Are you seeing this in your practice?
We are. We're seeing about 40% of households have the woman as the primary breadwinner for that family.
40%. 40%. That's progress, right, ladies? That's progress.
And it makes sense because if the woman has more income than the man, then she's going to stay at work while the husband or father is going to stay behind and take care of the child.
40%.
I would say that is pretty good. Economically, I would assume that is the best decision. But let's talk about it. When a woman does make more money, does that cause a problem in the marriage?
It can, Colleen. I think there's some natural resentment anytime someone is out there working and the other is staying at home. But also just because of these gender stereotypes, this has been maybe the last and hardest one to break, where we feel a man should be out there working and providing and not receiving support from a woman. And that's.
And, I'm perfectly fine with that gender stereotype. Guys, over here, I don't think a woman should date a guy that's shorter than her. I don't think a woman should date a guy that makes less. Because why even take that risk? A lot of women talk a lot of BS. They say, "Oh, I could date a guy who's shorter than me," and then they'll do it in 6 or 8 months. They just have this ick. And also, a woman will not support a man long term. Most women. And most women, even if they say they will, when they're in the situation, they reserve the right to change their mind at any time. Guys, get in a position where you can pay 100% of the bills. Then you won't have to worry about any of this type of stuff.
That's hard for that couple to reconcile.
And what happens when a couple breaks up, unfortunately? What sort of problematic things do you see with the man making less than the woman?
So what'll happen is that the woman will have to continue supporting the man because he's now out of the workforce. He can't go back, and quickly he also has childcare responsibilities. So they may not have liked the arrangement before when they were married, but now after separation, she's going to have to continue supporting him at that same standard of living that they had.
And that's the thing. Men, we've heard stories from our uncles, our fathers, family members, friends. We've seen it in the news as to what happens when a guy gets divorced. But women, they haven't quite wrapped their heads around this shit. Remember when Kelly Clarkson's husband divorced her, or when Adele's husband divorced her and they got all that money and all these women were all upset? See, guys, we already know what's going to happen. Women are going to have to get used to this.
Wow. So are any men kind of embarrassed to ask for the support?
There are. We're seeing that some men just will not receive support from a woman. Others.
And those guys are dumb. Guys, get paid. She wants to leave. Because this is the thing. Women, 40% of households are women, but then women still leave 70 to 80% of the time. If you're a man and you're taking care of the child and the woman wants to divorce you, get paid. Get alimony, get child support. Equality. Let's go.
Will put that aside and just really realistically have no choice but to take the support.
Well, what kind of advice would you give couples that are, entering into a marriage and maybe she makes more, she has a potential to make more? What kind of advice do you give them?
I think looking at those causes of resentment and understanding the choices that they're making, that's what's best for the child, and to have that open and honest communication about the decisions that they made.
It's incredible. But you know what? I know for people who are stay-at-home parents, I did it for like 2 years. It was the hardest job I ever had. So
And a lot of people that have stayed at home say how difficult it is. I have friends whose moms were stay-at-home moms with 2, 3, 4 kids, and it's a tough job. I hate the fact that today's society minimizes being a homemaker. It has to be tough.
I feel like any person who really, they are entitled to a good income.
Yeah, it is very hard,
Yeah, so prenup, good idea?
always.
Okay, spoken from the true person who knows everything about that. Christopher Melcher, nice to have you again. Appreciate that. And
So, guys, ladies asked for this, and this is what they're getting. And it's going to take a while for ladies to start wrapping their heads around this reality. Guys, I said it before in the video, I'll say it again. Put yourself in a position where you can pay 100% of the bills. You don't have to worry about this. And if you do get with a woman who makes more money than you and she leaves you, take her to the cleaners. Get everything you can. Women have been doing this for men for over 60, 70 years. And in the name of equality, men can do it too. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.